No. What's up, Brewskis? My name is Marco Dupa. That guy right there, that's Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Yeah, buddy.
Tonight's brew is from the Tactical Brewing Company. It's their Owls Aren't Real. And Obi's going to have a little bit more about that after the break. What's on tap? I just have to talk about this. I mean, I don't know what I'm turning the podcast into, but I have to talk about this celeb drama. Fucking has taken the internet by storm, and probably by next week it'll be over with.
Sure, taking Marco by storm.
It's definitely taking me by storm.
Yeah.
This insane storyline on the set of Don't Worry, Darling, Olivia Wilde's new movie. This love triangle, this drama, it's got everything.
It really does, yeah. I've been loosely following. You've been following it far more strictly than I have. Yeah.
Well, I'll catch you and everybody else up who is curious about this.
Yeah. We also have news from PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan. Talking that ish. As we've known for a while, PlayStation did not get the rights to Call of Duty. Microsoft did that with the acquisition of Activision.
I might have to put that in a run.
It's free. It's yours.
Thanks.
So we're going to get into his exact quotes and what he discussed with GameBiz.
And then what was the last thing?
GameIndustry.biz, excuse me. Let me get my
get those sources right.
Straight.
Sources, trust me.
We also have nerd drama.
That old nerd drama. You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. If you guys have been keeping up with some of the new fantasy shows that have come out, you'll probably see that fantasy, racism, kind of go hand in hand at this point. And so we're going to get into that with the new Lord of the Rings show, The Rings of Power, the Amazon exclusive that everybody has been salivating over, waiting for the fucking... There's a phrase.
I'm not going to say it.
I spaded. You know what? Fuck you. So we're going to talk about that.
Hand and foot.
Hand and foot. Hand over fist. They've been waiting hand over fist.
Yes.
All right, let's get into this motherfucker. This is episode 368 of the One Beer In podcast. That was good. Yeah. All over me.
Always.
Start wearing a hazmat suit to this show. Ooh. Oh, that vanilla shines. Wowie. Wowie. Goodness gracious. All right, kids. This is the One Beer In podcast. The podcast where two brews crack open a brew and we see where that one brew takes us. As I said, I am Marco Dupa, and that is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Yep.
And now, without further ado, Obi, if you would please tell me and the people a little bit more about what we are drinking.
I'd love to. We currently have the Owls Aren't Real from Tactical Brewing in collaboration with Miami's own Unseen Creatures.
Oh, collabby.
Yeah.
The collabby.
Yes. It is a dry hopped sour ale with papaya, apricot, vanilla, aged on white oak, dry hopped with Ella and Laurel. This one comes in at 6% ABV. Does not have a cold read, unfortunately, but I will tell you what they say on Tactical's own Instagram. It goes as follows. Owls aren't real. In collaboration with our friends at Unseen Creatures Brewing, we brewed up this exquisite dry hop sour ale. We dry hopped the sour base with Ella and Laurel, then added a balance of papaya, apricot, and vanilla. We then aged it on white oak. So, it is available currently at Tactical and will be available in Miami at Unseen Creatures soon, as of 8/26, so it may be available right now.
Yeah. Well, I think we have to just kind of start acknowledging the fact that, like, we're going to get less cold reads more than we're gonna get them, right?
I guess so.
And we get into this point where like every time it's like either a small one, we have to look it up, or there's none at all.
Yeah.
Not none. That's
Not none.
negative.
Ain't none.
Ain't none.
Also, it's fewer, not less, Marco.
Fewer what?
Fewer
Shut
cold
up.
reads.
I think you're correcting my grammar on this.
I'm sorry. Have to. It's my job.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'll do to you?
Nice things.
Nice. Yeah.
Very nice
You
things.
wish, buddy. All right. Let's get into this bitch, right?
Right?
Right? First things first. Let's just get this celeb drama out of the way. So you guys can...
Okay.
I just want to knock this out. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but it is compelling. It's the most compelling thing I have in my life right now. It's all I have.
All that's keeping you going.
It's the only thing that's keeping me breathing. So apparently this movie, Don't Worry, Darling, from the start has been rife with controversy. Just busting at the seams with drama.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing we heard, which was a little while ago, which was that Shia LaBeouf was originally cast... LaBeouf?
The beef.
LaBeouf.
Shia the beef.
Shia LaBeouf. He was originally cast in the Harry Styles role, and it was purported that he was fired because he was difficult to work with, and because Olivia Wilde is this big feminist, and she took the side of women.
I think the quote was along the lines of she wanted to make sure that her actors were safe.
Yeah.
So
Well, that was a lie. That was a lie. And Shia came with those receipts.
he did.
And he basically posted a video of Olivia, which, by the way, I don't know why you would ever record a video of yourself.
And send as a reply?
That's an insane thing to do. Maybe like a voice memo or voice recording through text. I could see that. Sure. You're driving or whatever. But I would never... What kind of psychopath...
Couldn't tell you.
...records a video of themselves? Maybe. Unless Shia scream... But even then... But you can't do that. You can't do that. Like if I sent you... If we were like... It would have to be like a FaceTime. You can screen record to FaceTime. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't a FaceTime. That was like her just talking to him through this video, right? So... Yeah. I mean, maybe it was a FaceTime and he just like cropped out his dumb face just going, but for all intents and purposes, it looks like she just sent a video.
Sent a selfie video.
Which, if that's the case, she's a psycho.
Is there like a celebrity exclusive or like rich people exclusive app? Like a social media
app? That they communicate?
That they can communicate with
I know that they have their own dating.
Yeah.
Raya or Rava or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know.
No. No. Not yet, anyway.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, maybe. But do you think that's what they do, is just send videos to
They're
each
so
other?
vain, they need to see each other's faces all the time, or their own faces.
Or it's Cameo, and they just have to pay for it every time they have any kind of discourse.
Uh-huh.
So she sends video of herself basically saying the exact opposite of what was reported, which was she is literally begging him to come back to set and putting all the drama on Miss Flo, quote unquote, Florence Pugh, the star of the movie, who, by the way, how dare you, Olivia Wilde, how dare you?
Yeah.
And
rude.
And the video basically, incriminates her for, she was not trying to create this safe environment. She was trying to get everybody on the same page, and she wanted Shia LaBeouf in this movie.
Sure.
That's number one. Number two...
It was a scheduling thing, right?
He quit. I don't know why.
His story... Okay, this is the one element I picked up.
Okay.
So I think we're fitting the pieces together here.
Perfect.
He claimed, and I think the text messages may have supported this, but he claimed that the reason he didn't accept the role was because they wouldn't have enough time to run through lines, and he felt rushed in the role, in the process. So he said, Thanks, but no thanks.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, if that's the case, then again, still doesn't paint her in a very
No.
good light.
It's incriminating, even more so.
Yeah.
The fact that, and mind you,
Well, you said that he's unprofessional, and like it sounds like he wanted to be like even more professional. Like he wanted to run the lines, he wanted to learn the movie, and
yeah. I was gonna say though, I don't know about you, but I haven't kept up on my Shia LaBeouf drama.
I have.
Okay, well, good. I haven't. I've tuned out the Shia LaBeouf. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I recently caught up. Did not know he was problematic.
Yeah. Problematic is an understatement.
A lot happened that I did not know about.
Absolutely.
So,
That guy. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, this isn't a Shia LaBeouf support group by no means.
Yeah,
I mean, he was wronged in this instance.
Sure,
but I
sure.
mean, he's not going to get an invite on this podcast anytime soon.
Yeah, we're not as good as John Bernthal. So
No.
I did listen to that entire podcast though. It was an interesting listen. That's where I caught up on a lot of the stuff going on.
I'd like to.
From the horse's mouth.
I'll definitely listen to it. I like John Bernthal.
Me
I like
too.
what he's
I
done with
love
this
John
show.
Bernthal.
Yeah.
I've bought season passes to John Bernthal.
Word.
I hope American Gigolo's great.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, it looks good.
yeah, so I listened to it. I've caught up with my Shia LaBeouf backstory here. I would understand why she would not want to invite him on such a picture, but it sounds like and looks like from all the evidence that's not the case.
Right.
She's just trying to save face.
Right. So she also, I don't know how you do this, but she cheated on one of America's sweethearts, one of the good white ones. Jason Sudeikis and her were married,
Son of a bitch.
and
How could
she
you?
broke old Jason's heart. Cheated on him with Harry Styles of all people, younger, British, pop star.
Yeah, singer.
Blah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I like Harry Styles. I liked Harry Styles. Thought, I am getting just as tired of him as everybody else is. They called what he's doing queer baiting,
Sure.
and I'm not as well versed into that. But as far as I know, it appears that he is a straight white male gallivanting as a queer person, and a lot of people in the community are not happy with a person who basically just apes on their culture, but then turn around and is just like a cis white,
Sure.
and so I mean it does kind of like he's real cagey about his sexuality, which we don't owe. He doesn't owe us that
absolutely
answer
not.
or anything
Yeah.
like that. But the inverse, he was fucking walking around wearing dresses and shit, and just fucking, and he kissed a guy, and it's just like, I guess that guy was Nick Kroll.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just shit
Some
like that.
guy,
It's like, all right,
Nick
man.
Kroll.
All right, buddy. All right.
Yeah.
We get it. People are getting tired of him, is what I'm saying.
Sure. And that's just a symptom of being in the limelight too much at this point, because this is coming off of a big album from him. And so he's been in the headlines and in the zeitgeist for, almost the entire year at this point.
Yeah. But anybody who's saying like he's in this movie, and people have been showing like clips of his acting. It's not very good. I don't think. I'm not going to judge his entire performance off those clips. It's just clips on Twitter.
Yeah,
I think we can judge his performance in Dunkirk, which was like, okay,
it's fine.
it was serviceable.
Sure.
He did what he was supposed to do. But to watch that movie and to think like, oh yeah, this guy deserves a starring role in another movie. Like, I don't see that.
Was he? Do we know if he was cast before they had a relationship, or was it in the throes of that?
I think that it was in the middle of filming the movie that they hooked up. I don't think that it was a thing of like nepotism is family, but but you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't think she gave him the role because of that.
Ohana is family.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, it wasn't nepotism, but similar.
Whatever the
word,
the equivalent of like a sexual relationship.
Sure.
And okay, so he's in the movie. Apparently, I'm going to stop eating up time explaining this, but Florence Pugh's friends
Is this
with
a one
Jason,
reel in?
Yeah, of celebrity drama.
Yeah.
And we'd start doing one reel ins like fucking Entertainment Weekly or Entertainment Tonight.
Uh-huh.
Florence Pugh is friends with Jason Sudeikis. So when she found out that this whole tryst was happening, she was not happy. So after that is when the whole thing kind of went cold. Okay. So they finished filming the movie. Florence has decided, I'm not going to promote this. Yeah, I'm done with this. As soon as we debut this at fucking Venice, that's it. I'm fucking done with this shit. She's in the new Dune sequel.
Sure.
And so she's like, I have scheduling conflicts. And it's like, Timothée Chalamet is like fucking surfing and shit.
My tummy hurts.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't show up.
We know what it is. She's done with it. She wants to put the whole thing behind us.
What a good friend.
So now, you fast forward to the Venice premiere of the movie, which it got a 5-minute standing ovation.
I feel like every movie gets a standing ovation, though.
Well, to your point, and to the tune of a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes currently, well, as of this recording. So the movie, by all accounts, is not good. And it got a 5 minutes. And all of those, yes, like you said, they always debut to, if they don't debut to people walking out like a fucking,
Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah,
Booing.
Pulp Fiction, or I was trying to think of the guy who made Necromaniac, Lars
von Trier.
Yeah. People walk out of his movies, or they stand there and just clap for. Dude, there's no way you're getting more than 30 seconds. Yeah. I'm not standing up for 5 minutes clapping,
except for Brendan Fraser.
It's tough. I'd have to be sitting next to him, and would feel guilty.
You have to be making eye contact with him, as he's crying, and then to be like, "Oh, I can't,"
because otherwise, I'm sitting back down. I'll clap for 5 minutes. Yeah. I'm not going to stand there just like,
Yeah, sure. You did see that clip, though.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah. Maybe give me the feel goods. Broke my heart. You know. You gotta love Brendan Fraser. I love that he's getting good press for the movie.
Yeah,
you know, so that's good. Apparently, it's a really good performance.
Mm-hmm.
I read one review. Doesn't matter. I mean, I was gonna pick.
Sure, it's getting like 80s.
Yeah, like it's
Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah,
it's good, not great. His performance is fantastic.
Yeah, right.
Transcendent. Sure. So I think what we're looking at right now is Austin Butler for Elvis. Brendan Fraser for The Whale.
Did you see Elvis?
I have not seen it.
I saw Elvis.
And? Do you think he deserves an Oscar nomination?
Yeah.
Okay.
Briefly. Mediocre movie with a great performance. Another Joker, if you will.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, we were talking about the Joker yesterday, my staff outing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the people that I work with, shout out Jess, she was like, the point of the movie is like it shows that this could be anybody, right? Any person could become.
We're all one bad day away from becoming the Joker,
right? And because my whole thing was I was going on this rant about just like it's not a good movie. Everything that we basically said about it on the show,
sure.
And all those feelings just got like ramped up again.
You played the podcast for.
I could have just sat there and just like let our discussion take hold. But no, it's just interesting when you talk to people who are like, no, I thought it was like I understood. I read it differently because all of us were sitting there talking about it and like read it differently.
Yeah,
which is just one of those. It's just an interesting thing where you're like,
sure.
Todd Phillips. To me, he's saying something different than to what he was to what other people's perception of it was. Mm-hmm. I still don't fucking like it. It's a bad movie, but
yeah. I will say I think that Elvis is Elvis and Joker are both well-made movies. They look good. They are edited.
They smell good.
Smell good. Feel good. But specifically, Elvis is too long.
Yeah.
Too long. Has issues with, honestly, Tom Hanks, his performance, not the best.
Yeah.
And yeah, just too long. But the performance, Austin Butler's performance, very good. Very, very good.
Okay.
I think it's worth watching for that.
Okay.
And, you know, the tunes are good too. But it is exactly what you think it is as far as a biopic, a music biopic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just gonna keep making those movies, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's satisfying. It's, you know, it's nice. You get it's essentially a musical in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You get all the moments of Elvis's life, and it has some really anarchistic or not anachronistic. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Shots, and like it's so weird and funny without trying to be that I appreciate it a little bit more than I appreciate Joker. Joker felt a bit safer of a movie to me in a weird way.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like it. I like it. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I think you should watch it. It's just not the movie itself's not the shining element here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. This has been the One Reel In podcast.
So we get fast forward to this Venice premiere of the movie. Don't worry, darling. And the tension is palpable. They can't even sit next to each other. They don't even want to look at each other.
Yeah. Florence Pugh, famously now, infamously, not looking.
Can't even make eye contact with Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
At one point, I mean, they clap at each other and they do like the cute little like "yes, girl" kind of thing, and then that's it. And then she fucking bolts.
She said that she's not doing any press for it, right?
Yeah, yeah. She already confirmed she's not doing any press for it.
Right.
And then it appears at one point as Harry Styles is returning to his seat. You have Olivia Wilde sitting there, and then you have Chris Pine, who's just trying to fucking make it through, man. Just trying to make it through.
This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine the whole time. It appears that Harry Styles comes back and spits in his lap. It's the most, like, I'm shocked.
It's like it's been dissected like the Zapruder film.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen it from different angles.
Yeah.
I've seen it in slow motion. I've seen freeze frames.
Yeah. Well, there is nothing anyone on this planet that can tell me that is going to convince me that he didn't do that.
Yeah.
When you watch, I watched it 100 times. He, 1,000,000%, I'd stake my life on it. He definitely spit something on it. Whether it was like, I mean, I don't think he hawked a loogie in his lap, but he definitely was like a, it's obvious. It's clear as day. In my opinion, it's not even a fucking debate. It's
now,
clear as day.
I've seen the main defense, which is, it's an inside joke. He didn't actually spit on him. It was like a, like something between them where he's like, haha, tuh, And they were seen after that moment laughing together and joking around and,
Okay.
So it seems like, at least on face value, they're on good terms.
I will more readily believe that than that he didn't do it at all. People like, Harry Styles stands like he didn't. No, you guys are crazy. He would never do that. Not our Harry. Like, no, yes, you're Harry. He definitely did it. Now, if it was a joke, honestly, you saying that and footage of them like palling around afterward, laughing and stuff. To me, first of all, I was already emboldened by my opinion that he definitely did.
Sure.
But now that makes it even clearer that he definitely did do it. Because if it was a joke, then because when you watch the clip, it's so clear that he does it.
You want my hypothesis here?
Please.
I think that it was a joke. I think it was a joke to break the tension because he knew that the understanding was everyone on this row hates each other.
Yeah.
So let me joke like I'm fighting with Chris Pine.
Yeah.
And act like I'm spitting on him because that's what they think we're feeling.
Right.
And because Chris Pine acted along like he actually got spit on.
Yeah.
And didn't like joke back immediately or like, oh, you knucklehead kind of thing.
Yeah.
It made people go,
like, ooh. Dude, I mean, I was already kind of invested in the drama that was going on, and then it just jump-started my interest.
I saw that happen. I mean, that's what got me invested, too, is because I'm like, what is this about this movie? Like, I saw the trailer, and I was like, it looks kind of interesting, I guess, but I didn't, like, we don't care about this kind of stuff generally.
No, I don't give a fuck.
But the Zapruder element of this entire thing, of highly, like, focusing on this one thing that happened, or did not happen, got me on the hook.
I think this is what people feel. This is what people who like watch, like people who watch Entertainment Tonight and like people who watch reality TV shows like all the time, and like the drama with these shows, no matter how fabricated or like it. I think this is what they feel. It's like you want to know more. You want all the answers. You have to speculate. You're just slow dripped information from like PR reps and all kinds of. Yeah. It's just like that was the other thing. Chris Pine's PR was like, that's a bizarre theory. He definitely did not do that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I would much prefer him to say like it was an inside joke. Like you guys are blowing this way out of proportion. I don't know, man. It's crazy. I want a documentary about the making of this movie.
I can almost guarantee there's going to be either a like dramatization, not using real names and like not the real name of the movie, obviously, or there is going to be a book written or some kind of documentary in.
I want just Florence Pugh, like
10 to 15 years.
Jordan in the Last Dance.
We're going to get
that personally.
We're going to get a dramatization on FX.
Yeah,
in like 10 years. About this happening.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
I can almost guarantee it happened. You definitely see Harry Styles bend over, do something with his mouth, and then you see Chris Pine react.
Yes.
That's what gets me.
That's a fact.
Because if Chris Pine just stayed looking straight and nothing, like acted like nothing happened, or like even said like, oh, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. But he reacts.
He stops clapping and he looks in his lap.
Yeah.
And then he does that face of like, you son of a bitch. Like that half smile of like, I can't do anything because the cameras are on me, but I'm going to fuck you up later.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And if that's part of the bit, then that makes sense.
Right.
But like, first time I saw that video, I was like, yo, he is better than me because I would have strangled
I'm going to add to the hypothesis here, okay? It is an inside joke. He was just acting along. His publicist cannot admit to it being an inside joke because it makes it a little more clear that the perception is something has run afoul.
Oh, right.
So it needs to be like, we are not saying anything. We're not admitting that anything is amiss here.
No, that makes sense.
Hypothesis.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you should be writing these fucking PR statements.
I took ad PR, so I know a little something about something.
A little something about something. Well, you better get those fucking, excuse me, keep those gears a-turning because you were going to have to write some kind of PR statement for me at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's a virtual certainty.
Yeah. Once we get into the, not sober October?
Yeah, you're going to have to write the PR statements for the whole podcast.
Are we going to do that again? Or are we going to go back to the high ABVs for October?
I'm good with it.
Is that like a yearly thing? Is that what we do?
I thought it was a fun bit, so I want to do it.
Okay.
But we're doing
the horror movies, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be one reel in /
It's true.
Because, I mean, it would be really fun to, like, get hammered and talk about these crazy movies, yeah.
Well, you may not stick to the script, but,
Yeah.
It's half the fun. That's why you guys listen in the first place, right?
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's do a combo of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Down for that.
All right, let's get out of here because there haven't been any real updates since everything that we just discussed. Nothing has come out since.
Yeah. Maybe a while until we get the truth out of the matter.
Yeah. Just know that Chris Pine's just doing his best, and so is Nick Kroll, who I didn't know was even in the movie.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in it.
I didn't know.
I thought he was in it, right? That's why he was there with them.
I thought he's just like friendly.
No, I'm pretty sure he's in the movie. You think he got all dressed up just to like fucking pal around with the cast of a movie he's not in?
He's in Venice. I don't know.
No, I think he's in it. I don't know. We could just check the fucking.
If only there was a way for us to find out.
If only. I'm pretty sure he's
in it. Don't worry, darling. It's already a search term. So.
Yeah. Because everybody was like, is he in this movie? What is he doing?
Nick Kroll is. His name is Bill.
Nick Kroll's a decent actor.
Oh,
so.
Dakota Johnson's in it too. Weird.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I love me some Dakota Johnson.
She doesn't have a credited name, though. Maybe she's like just the voice in it or something? Weird.
Yeah. This whole thing is weird, man.
Yeah.
The whole thing is all fucked up. Anyway, from celeb fucking
Gossip
to video game gossip, actually. This is going to be a whole gossipy episode.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the video game gossip. Break it down.
Well, according to gamesindustry.biz, I'll just read directly. This is an article from Christopher Dring. Microsoft has promised to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for 3 years beyond the current agreement between Activision and Sony, says PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan. In a statement provided to gamesindustry.biz, Ryan says that the offer was, quote, inadequate on many levels. So, as we discussed before, Microsoft buying Activision could very easily lead to Call of Duty being an exclusive for Xbox and Microsoft.
Yeah.
PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
I was on the side of saying it makes no sense for Xbox to make these games exclusive to one console because they make so much money.
Yeah.
Why limit it? Other than, obviously, to get people on your platform.
Yeah.
But PC is such like a big platform that so many people have. I feel like the base is already covered. You're going to get somebody to buy the game anyway.
Yeah.
So why not leave it open to as many people as you can possibly get?
Right.
You, however, were on the other side, saying they're definitely going to make it exclusive.
Yeah.
So, from my understand, this is going to go on, as far as Call of Duty, is going to be on all platforms for the next 5 or so years.
Yeah.
Given the 3-year extension. That means it's going to be probably close to when the PS5 is getting long in the tooth.
Right.
Before Microsoft says no mas.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to stick to that. I don't think that they're going to extend that plan.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't expect Jim Ryan from PlayStation to say something so reckless.
Yeah.
Unless they were clearly planning on cutting off
They were
supply
gearing up
chain
for losing that.
to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Or to Xbox, I mean.
He's obviously getting out ahead of it and putting it on Phil Spencer.
And saying, hey, we're trying here.
Yeah. He's the one taking
This
it
guy.
away from you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's so complicated because, first, like, no matter what Jim Ryan says about Phil Spencer or Microsoft or anything, like, if you're a person who plays Xbox or PC, you don't give a fuck what Sony thinks. I saw a lot of people posting on the link to this on Twitter. They're like, yo, Sony's getting their comeuppance for fucking doing everything, like the business dealings that they've done in the past. Like, they're just now getting a taste of their own medicine. So when it comes to the fanboys, which I just can't believe that we are in the year of our Lord 2022 and there's still the PlayStation fanboys and the Xbox fanboys and the PC max. It's crazy that we're still doing this.
And the Nintendo babies.
Yeah. You seriously will go online and fight for your console. These people don't care about you. They don't.
Yeah. They want your money.
Stop caping for these people.
Yeah.
They don't care about you. They would put all of us in a fucking unmarked grave as long as we gave them money first. They don't care about us. Don't go on the internet fighting for these people. Okay?
Yeah.
They wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. Okay?
Yeah. Like Chris Pine.
not Chris Pine. You wouldn't get a Harry Styles loogie from some of these people, most of these people. Okay, you gotta stop. And honestly, I mean, like, if I just preferred the PlayStation at this point. It's not like if I had the money, I'd have all three.
Sure,
there's no fucking. I have no.
I mean, generally, by the end of the lifespan of any system, I try to have all of them.
Yeah,
because it's almost better that way. Think about it. You stick to one, you get all the exclusives. You play as many things as you can on that one console, and then when the other console's a little bit cheaper and all the games are super cheap, or like you're on a program like PS Plus Extra or whatever top tier one is.
Yeah.
Or obviously Game Pass. There's so many things at your fingertips when you jump into that next ecosystem,
right.
and you can just catch up for cheap.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do that and not have to have some kind of allegiance and fights in some war.
Yeah.
for people who don't know you exist,
right,
and don't care, but they'll fan those flames for you, to make sure you stay loyal
and shit like this,
right?
Yeah,
to keep caping for them,
yeah. So you get that, and I mean, for Xbox, for Microsoft, financially, I don't think it makes sense for them to cut Sony out, but rep-wise, if Call of Duty becomes an Xbox exclusive, that's a big deal.
It's huge.
Yeah. That's
well, they're losing so much cred with Halo.
Yeah.
The disappointment of Forge coming super late.
Yeah.
And then now the complete exclusion and cancellation of couch co-op.
Yeah.
That people are really looking forward to.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I don't get, because who does
you don't
that?
Get them shut. Oh, yeah, right.
Who does that anymore? Who plays couch co-op?
Nobody.
I mean, I saw one example that I was like, I understand that. It was a dad,
dying kid with their
no. I don't think the kid was like, but it was some dad who was like, I grew up playing Halo, and I was really looking forward to showing my kid, introducing him to the game with couch co-op on this newest version, and now I'm not going to be able to do that, and it's really disappointed me.
You see this?
Yeah, I got it.
This is the world's smallest violin. Yeah, I got it for that guy and his stupid fucking kid. Okay.
Sorry, you're going to have to take turns.
Yeah.
Buy another Xbox. How about that?
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but I mean, beyond that, come on. Who does that anymore?
Yeah. Nobody does.
Nobody.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, fuck you. No. No, it's. I understand why that would be frustrating for a guy like that.
But, the only reason why I can kind of understand the frustration here is because the latest Halo was released unfinished.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but there were clear signs of it not being a complete game. And it had already gotten pushed back, delayed, time and time again. And it was clear that they were like, we can't do this again. We need to put it out now.
Yeah.
So on top of that, they also promised that co-op was in the plans and was guaranteed it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So anyone who bought it with the plans of playing co-op,
yeah, that's fucked up.
Sold on a lie.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Which is why you should come to Sony, babe. No. Nah, but yeah, so with all of the bad press that they've been getting with Halo, it only stands to reason that, if they're like, hey, a couple years from now, we're not going to have to worry about that because Warzone and all of those. But the thing is, think about how many streamers can't play the game anymore.
I heard a theory. Let me propose this theory to you.
All right.
The theory is Xbox will retain rights to have Call of Duty exclusively on their consoles and PC.
Uh-huh.
However, they will allow Warzone to continue multi-plat and free. So they continue to bolster their fan base and player base because it's that's what makes the game really worth playing, is having as many people in there as possible.
Yeah.
While also making it better if you have the game.
Yeah.
Continuing that thing of sort of silently favoring people who have the latest game.
Yeah.
With the latest weapons, the latest loadouts, etc., etc.
Yeah. Well, Call of Duty,
like exclusives and stuff.
It's always been like a game that I thought was Xbox first, PlayStation second. I mean, even when you see the commercials,
Xbox has always been the first-person shooter console.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I mean not even first-person shooter, just shooter console.
Yeah.
It's the American shooter console.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I mean, I don't think that's a good idea though. You leave Warzone free to play, but then you like degrade the experience for anybody who's not using the console that you want them to use.
well, that you look at them and go, would you rather not even have this experience? Do you want to not play at all?
I mean, if somebody dangles that shit in front of me, you know me, I'm spiteful, so I'm like, fuck you. You can fucking burn in hell. Take the game, take the whole fucking thing. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, so if you're giving me an ultimatum, you're like, look, it's either not play it at all or play this version of it. Like, fuck you. I don't want to play it at all. Fuck
well, you know, it could be like a recruitment tool. I mean, it already is.
Yeah.
But I mean, a recruitment tool for people to be like,
we're in the army now.
I like this experience. Let me get an Xbox so I can get the full benefits of it. You know?
Yeah.
It's a taste. It's a little taste.
Yeah.
Almost like a demo, but better than that.
Yeah.
And maybe they will be so gracious as to sell.
Be so gracious.
To sell like upgrade packs for PlayStation and be like, well, you could buy an Xbox and get this automatically for free with your game, or you could pay us $50 and you know, get this gun and that gun and this operator and that outfit. And
yeah, I mean, I would continue playing / paying if I didn't have to. Like, honestly, dude, I have really no interest in playing the multiplayer in these games anymore because they're just not fun experiences. They're just not fun anymore. Yep. Battle Royale is a fun mode for me. It's just, even if it's frustrating and I want to break my controller and like, you know, jump out of a window. Sure. At the end of the day, the Battle Royale experience is more fun than the multiplayer experience. And that's just my personal preference. I know that there's plenty of people out there who don't like Battle Royales at all.
I disagree, yeah.
Right.
I love playing multiplayer.
No, I can't fucking stand it. I'm so sick of it. I mean, no, let me say, I can't stand playing multiplayer. Like, I can't stand playing Call of Duty multiplayer. Battlefield is fun.
Finally.
Right. I think it's the scale. Call of Duty is already built like a video game. And what I mean by that is, like, there's gamey things that you do to success in these games, right? In the close quarters that is multiplayer modes, it's just really frustrating. You get a guy who, like, just camps somewhere in a corner and they run the field, they get 25 kills in a row, they get a fucking nuke, and you're just like, what is the point of this game? Or every time players learn your spawn points, so then they spawn camp there, and it's just like, it's little things like that, like, when you gamify it like that, it's a frustrating experience. Those things happen, obviously, in Battle Royale modes, but they're at least spread out. You can at least learn them a little bit better. It kind of evens the playing field. Multiplayer, just like,
you have more room for strategy.
Yes, and different strategies. You can do different. You can win different ways. In multiplayer, there is one way to win, and it's just be more crap than that fucking So, Battle Royale modes for me are just more enjoyable. From Call of Duty, right? So I would continue playing the game if they told me, like, hey, listen, we'll give you don't have to buy the game anymore, but you have to buy the Game Pass. But the Game Pass does include the new guns. And we'll give you the guns leveled up so you can just stay with everybody else. I'll do that. But if they tell me, like, yo, all you get is the Warzone experience, you got to level up these guns within Warzone, which, I don't know if you know this, is an incredibly taxing experience. Because you have to drop in, and then let's say you want to level up a certain gun. Well, first you have to find that gun.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to use that gun. You have to survive with that gun.
Right.
That's the only way to level it up. You have to pick up a ground loop version of the gun, which is usually like no attachments on it, just a piece of shit, plastic, just paintball gun. And you have to use that and win with that. That's the only way to level up if you don't have the current game.
And that's why I don't like playing it.
Well, I mean,
I
but if you play enough of multiplayer, you already have those guns
I know.
Leveled up.
But it's just, I think the trouble I have is I don't feel enough progression.
Yeah, there's zero progression.
It's a fun game mode.
Warzone or Battle Royales, period.
I think I'm more attracted to feeling like I have that carrot on the stick. You know?
Yes. You have the what? The carrot on the stick. Yeah.
I have your ass on a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not about that.
I know.
It's about winning. It's about winning.
Yeah. All right.
Winning, duh.
I guess.
Como se dice winning?
Just don't win enough, I guess.
Yeah, you don't. It's because you don't fucking stick with me or Juan.
It's true.
Why don't get you some dubs?
Yeah.
He's got a pretty decent KD. As much as I hate to compliment Juan.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I love you. I think we're about to get into a weird space with these games. We thought we were in a weird space with exclusive games before. I think with these companies buying up all these other companies and basically making monopolies, which, by the way, there's been a lot of like anti-monopoly groups criticizing these purchases and stuff. It's been like I didn't even realize like how big of a deal. I mean, I knew it was a big deal, but I didn't think that it was being criticized in the way that it has been.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, I felt like if a company has enough money to just buy, and if those guys are willing to sell, then it's like, well, you know, whatever. Like if I walked up to your door and I want a pair of shoes, and you're like, well, they're $500, and I go, I have $500. And then another person walks up and they're like, that's unethical. It's like, well, fuck you. I said I would spend it. This guy charged it. I said I would spend it. Yeah. Who are you? But I understand that you need some kind of department to come in and say that is unethical. You need that. But dollar signs win over ethics, baby.
Well,
so what's the point? What's the point?
It's very clear when one of those major pseudo-monopolies is from China.
Mm.
So it becomes a more complicated issue.
China.
Buying up a lot of, a ton.
They're buying up the games.
They're buying up the
games.
So yeah, it's complicated. Certainly complicated.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting that there was a strange, like, mask-off moment with Jim Ryan, who's usually very, he has a lot of tact when talking to the press.
He even said it in the article. He's like, I thought that was private, but since he wanted to go crazy and then fucking, as soon as the quote starts, you start hearing Tupac in the background.
Says, fuck your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Says he want to talk about motherfucking private conversations. I tell you what, he said several years. What the fuck does several years mean? 3 years? West Side? What the fuck are we going to do with 3 years?
He said, and I quote, he said, I hadn't intended to comment on...
That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
On what... Get money. I hadn't intended to comment on what I understood to be a private business discussion, but I feel the need to set the record straight because Phil Spencer, he said his name, Phil Spencer brought this into the public forum. Microsoft has only offered for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation for 3 years after the current agreement between Activision and Sony ends.
Wait. Start over. Just read the quote again.
I hadn't intended to comment on what I understood to be a private discussion, but I feel the need to set the record straight because Phil Spencer brought this to the public forum. Microsoft has only offered for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation for 3 years after the current agreement between Activision and Sony ends. After almost 20 years of Call of Duty on PlayStation, their proposal was inadequate. on many levels and failed to take account of the impact on our gamers. We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality Call of Duty experience, and Microsoft's proposal undermines this principle.
Nice. Very good. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what old Philly yes has to say about all this.
He after your wife. Such a disrespectful song.
The most disrespectful song. The only reason that is not my number one greatest diss record of all time is because Tupac was too good to his friends.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And let the Outlaws ruin it.
Yeah.
They just go on there and they ruin the song. It's too much.
Yeah.
They just go on there and it's not good enough.
Get out the way, yo. Get out the way, yo.
Come on, man. What are we doing? That first verse was pure, poisonous vitriol.
Yeah.
And then we got these guys like turning. It's like a 5-minute song. And you're like, why does it need to be this long?
Yeah.
It's because these fucking.
I mean, he even says so in the song. He's like, I'm going to let these little guys get you.
Yeah.
I don't need you.
Yeah.
I don't need it anymore. Go ahead. Mm.
Well, he ruins it.
Yeah.
He ruins it. So that's why it can't be my number one. It can't be.
Yeah.
Not when you listen to that and then you listen to No Vaseline. You just like, it's not, like No Vaseline is, that's my number one, by the way.
I mean, mine's Ether.
Yeah. That's
I mean, it's like the one that first knocked the socks off. You know? Yeah.
I've since come around on Takeover and think that Takeover and Ether are closer than I thought when I was a kid.
Sure.
Because everyone tells you that Ether is, I mean, he destroyed his career and all this stuff, which obviously we know that's a lie. But I heard Ether and I heard Stillmatic before I was a Nas fan before I was ever a Jay-Z fan.
Yeah. I think that's the natural progression of things.
Right, yeah.
At least for our generation.
A lot of hip hop heads of our definitely. You start and then you come around on Jay after a while, and you're like, oh man, I didn't realize like how good he actually is because
you have to go back. You have to go back and go like, oh, he can do that,
right?
But he decided not to,
right? Well, the other thing is like you have to appreciate the jiggy bars for what they are.
Of course.
Like
You
when you're our age and you're introduced to hip hop in the way that most of us were, that shiny suit era is it's like it's I wish I was more fucking loquacious than this, but it's bad.
You're loquacious by saying loquacious.
It's just not it's propped up as like the not like the best version of hip hop. Like it's
it's looked down on. Yeah.
But the problem is there's like that shiny suit era and all those shiny suit albums and shit. Like there's so much good shit in there that you have to grow up later and realize like you know what? Sometimes I just need something to get jiggy to and let these guys fucking floss and shit.
Well, and that inevitably led to even more debaucherous, lowbrow hip hop,
right?
Which is why it's so looked down upon. It's because it's like
it's your fault.
This was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, with time, at least for me, I look back at that fondly, and even like the ringtone rap era, I'm like, there's some good stuff there.
Oh, there's a ton of shit that we shitted on that now I'm like, man, I wish I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking everything that Lil Jon and the East Side Boys and Yin Yang Twins did. Like, there was some stuff that was just undeniable, but there was some other shit where you're like, get that out of here. But now I'm like, what was I thinking? This is awesome. This is so much fun.
It's because we're all way too self-serious and didn't know how to have a good time.
Yeah.
We would have fun with it, but feel bad about doing so.
It was an ironic thing.
Yeah.
When these songs are just good.
Yeah.
There's no irony involved. They're just good.
Yeah.
We thought we were better. We're not.
We thought we're not. We're not. That's the lesson here. You're not better.
You're not better.
Yeah. You may think you are,
but you're not. And no matter if it takes you a day 6 months,
30 years,
or 30 years, you'll soon
you'll get there.
realize
You'll get there.
Not better. Not better than these kids on TikTok. You know, everybody thinks that they're better than these kids on TikTok. You're not.
No,
you're not.
We were those kids on Vine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Think about it, everybody wanted to get Vine famous. I posted like 3 Vines, and then I realized I don't have the capacity to do this.
I don't have the X factor.
I thought to myself, and this is what I always think: like, if I just committed and tried hard enough, I could do it. I just don't want to.
Yeah,
that's what I always tell myself. Like, I could be in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I just don't want it.
You know, this is a real thought that I have.
Mm.
That if I have the talent, I just don't have the drive.
Sure, you have the capacity to do something great, but I just aren't committed enough to do it.
Right. I've always felt like I could have made it to the NBA if I just worked harder.
It's funny you say that because I was going to say felt. I feel the same way because I've realized something within me. I think we've talked about this in the show before, but I am easily inspired, but also easily distracted.
Yeah.
So I will start a million things that I feel like is going to be the thing.
Yeah.
And stop them all. Like midway through, if that far.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I could have done something great. I could have been a contender. I just stuck to something. I mean, at least we have this.
We do have this, and we've stuck to this.
We have stuck to this. We appreciate you sticking to this. Dear listener. Or viewer. Or viewer.
What was the last thing? Oh, the Lord of the Rings thing. Okay. So moving on to even more nerd, gossipy controversy.
Nerd news.
Nerd news. Your source for nerd news. The new Lord of the Rings TV show, The Rings of Power, has debuted on Amazon Prime to glowing reviews and being one of their most successful debut of all time.
And good for them because it's a $1 billion show.
Yeah, they need to start recouping that shit. So
insane.
But also, what else has debuted on there that would have any kind of...
Oh, that's a good question. What's an Amazon original show?
The Boys is an Amazon original.
Yeah.
Invincible is an Amazon original. Fleabag.
Wow.
Yeah. One of those Jack Ryan shows.
Wheel of Time. Reacher.
That is Jack Reacher, yeah.
Outer Range. Terminal List.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's the Chris Hemsworth, or not Hemsworth, what's his name? Chris, the Star-Lord, man.
Oh, the worst Chris.
Yeah.
I love Chris Pratt.
I know. Chris Pratt. Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Oh, man, The High Castle. Forgot all about that show.
Yeah. Somebody was saying, like, I've watched so many Amazon shows that just don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And they're right, because, like, once Amazon's done with a show, they just they just throw it in the garbage, man.
The Expanse, Marvelous Miss Maisel.
None of these shows have the power of Lord of the Rings.
Bosch. Goliath, starring Billy Bob Thornton. Hunters. Yeah, I mean, like, all these are, like, one and done.
Yeah.
Or not all of them, but a lot of them.
Like, good shows. A lot of them are, like, limited series.
Yeah.
Good shows, but none of them are the Rings of Power.
Right.
So the show comes out, and, of course, you know, it's got its critics, it's got its detractors, and all that jazz, and people who are Tolkien fans, Tolkien stans, the nerds who have spent their entire lives translating Elvish and all this stupid shit.
Sure.
And they...
That's the way to get in this topic. By demeaning it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, they started it.
Okay.
The show has been doing well, and then you know you get a full list of the cast, you get a full look of the cast rather, and it's a pretty diverse cast.
Yeah, so, I mean, especially for a Middle Earth set story.
Yeah,
we haven't seen many people of color in.
Have we seen any
Lord of the Rings? I don't want to say no because I don't know for sure, but I don't think so. Definitely not in the main cast.
I can't think of any. They're all No.
Not in the main cast for
They're
sure.
the whitest human beings I've ever seen.
It's true.
I mean,
elves are very white.
I mean, is there, and this is, I mean, no offense by this.
Yeah.
But is there a whiter human being on the planet than Elijah Wood? I mean, he has to be one of the whitest human beings ever made.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think of him as like a wood nymph, you know?
Yeah.
Like he just came from the earth. And
Yo, Obi, that makes him whiter.
that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Yeah. He was built to be Frodo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
Like Orlando Bloom strikes me as like not, like he's white, but he's not like white.
He's exotic white.
Yeah. And like Viggo Mortensen
Sure.
is like technically,
He's darker white.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, guy who plays Gandalf, Ian McKellen.
Yeah. He's gay.
He's gay, so he's not like
Something.
really white.
Yeah.
You know, he's white. He's definitely
Sure.
like super white. But
Kate
like,
Blanchett.
she's very, very white.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett is super white.
Yeah.
So it's a really white cast.
Very white. Yeah.
And now you have this TV show with like this super diverse cast. You got Latino, you got some black folks. You got, I mean, it's and hey, you know, surprise, surprise, the nerds aren't happy about seeing
Some.
not
all.
right. Okay,
I believe the vast majority are fine with it.
It's good. I don't want to make it a blanket statement of like every fan of this show is upset that they're seeing colored folk, but let's just say some of them are. Okay, and I guess really that's the thing, right? That really is the crux of this. Is imagine if CNN and ABC and Twitter and all these places just ignored those people who were upset about this. Because, like, if it truly is a fringe of the fan base, do we even need to acknowledge it? Because there's always going to be shitty people saying shitty things about these types of shows. They see diversity and it's wokeifying and it's fucking, you see a gay person, it's like, oh, fucking gay agenda or whatever. There's always going to be people say, I'm not saying that those people don't need to be corrected. Of course they do. But we just give more power to these the people with these opinions by highlighting them all over the media.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like so much of media is based on people going, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's a crappy thing to say. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Click.
Right.
Money.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's
So of course
simple as that.
it's never going to stop. The clickbait is built upon.
I mean, and that's the real outrage culture, if you ask me. You know, it's people going,
I am asking you.
thank you. It's people who are of sound body and mind who see something ridiculous and go, that's outrageous.
Right.
And click. You know, it's not people overreacting at things. It's a minutia of a fan base or political party or whatnot apply where needed that react to something, that overreact to something actually, that make the headline, that cause the vast majority of us level-headed people to go, that's crazy, let me learn more.
Right.
And that causes us to get upset and to maybe respond with the assumption that a lot of people feel this way when that's usually not true.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's very important to remember that the vast majority of people, I feel, aren't crazy. We're seeing the fringes of humanity because of the internet and because of media that promotes this kind of stuff because that's what makes people click.
Or an alternative is that there's more shitty people than we realize.
I mean, that's true. That's true, but they're not the majority. I think. I hope.
I don't know.
No,
Probably not.
I'd like
Probably
to think.
not. Probably not.
Mhm.
But you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Because it seems to happen every time that there is. I mean, okay, so let's just say like the main crux of their argument is that Tolkien was pretty clear about what an elf or Harfoot or like whatever.
Orc.
He was pretty clear about what these beings looked like.
Sure.
And who's the director? Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
Nailed the look in his movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so to stray away from that is a pretty obvious grasp at diversity and
wokeness.
Right? So then you have people on the other side who are like, he wasn't that clear about what these things would look like. And also, Middle Earth isn't real. So they could look like anything.
Sure.
Because it's not a real place. Right. Even though it is based on a real place, it's not a real place. He created this world, and anything could be possible in a made-up world.
Sure.
And so the idea that you need to, this cast needs to look a certain way is like, but it doesn't though, because there's no fact that it's based in.
Well, and you know, I understand why people would get the idea that this is moored in something true, something real, because Tolkien famously took from a lot of real history of human history and obviously his own experiences in war and all these things that make it feel like a real lived-in place.
Yeah.
However, it's still fantasy.
Right.
So
it's not real.
It's not real.
It's not real.
I totally get why people would be upset if it's not meeting their vision of what Tolkien intended, but this is a derivative years after his death, and it can still be true to the lore and the story while also introducing new faces and people and races and things into this world.
Yeah.
That, make it more true to today and is more representative for the people today who do enjoy fantasy.
Yeah.
Fantasy is no longer this niche thing that is in basements and, only for white kids.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Well, and that's the thing that people don't seem to realize is that it's never been only for white kids. We have just never seen ourselves in any of these things.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to relate or to see yourself in these properties because we never have. So the idea that we're taking something from these people or that we're changing things in a way that's detrimental to the story is are they a good actor? Did they portray the character properly? Did you get the story that you wanted to get?
Yeah.
So then what's really the issue here?
Sure.
Your sense of, or I guess your belief in what beauty is, your sense of people's argument that when you do this, it's pretty I see a lot of people who think that there's a quote unquote level-headed way of looking at this, which is that hey, listen, it's not that they're black. It's that, when you put a black person in a thing, or a Spanish person, or an Asian person, or what have you, when you change the race, you're race baiting just to show, just to put them in the thing, right? You're not really advancing the story. You're not. It doesn't enhance the experience. All you're doing is trying to diversify the cast to meet some kind of quota or some kind of agenda. Let me just say this. Maybe there is an agenda, right? Maybe there is a race agenda or a gay agenda or anything like that, okay? If the experience isn't degraded, i.e. putting a bad actor in a thing just to fill a quota, then what's the problem? I don't have any issue with seeing gay people on my TV. I don't have any issue with seeing white, black, Asian, Native American, indigenous people, anything. If they are playing the role to perfection, if they're good.
If they're good in the role, yeah.
And, most importantly, if the race doesn't matter, because I see people like to argue the inverse, like, oh, well, what if Wakanda was filled with black people or white people? And it's like, what if
Wakanda was full of black people?
Like, Jesus Christ,
can you imagine?
And that argument always falls flat for obvious reasons, but it's like that's what they like to prop up.
Can I just say, I despise the fact that we have to explain these things like these people are children.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's so clearly ignorance because they want to stay ignorant.
Yeah.
Like, it's so very clear that they're not trying to understand. When you say, oh, what if Black Panther were white? You know.
Yeah.
You know that's a ridiculous thing to say.
Absolutely.
If the character, like, if Captain America was tied to his whiteness, it'd be a different story.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
I mean, Batman is not tied to his whiteness. Superman, dare I say, is not tied to his whiteness.
A black
Superman. Those characters have nothing to do with their color.
Yeah.
The reason why Black Panther's Black Panther and why it's special is because there weren't many strong black superheroes.
Yeah.
That weren't just, cliches. So the fact that Black Panther was necessary at all is indicative of the lack of representation at the time.
Yeah.
And obviously this representation got better and better as we got more and more people writing and producing and directing things that are supposed to be representative of the people that they're depicting on screen.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that with, like, Shang-Chi, which was originally a terribly racist stereotype of an Asian person.
Yeah.
But now it's this powerful, empowering thing. And I don't know how you could possibly, in good faith, prop up an argument like, what if Black Panther were white?
Yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
We're wasting our time here.
Right. There's no legs in that argument to stand on. It's just like, every time I see that on Twitter or if I see it in part of any kind of discourse, I immediately just click away because there's no reason. You're that kind of person, you're not going to have an intelligent discussion about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that they go to is like, how come I can't have white entertainment television? It's like, well, but then we're not going to have we're not going to be able to have a conversation.
An intelligent conversation about this.
Yeah.
And I can see people saying, well, which white superhero is, like, needs to be white then? Because those are, like, the main white superheroes, right?
Right.
I mean, even, Peacemaker. Peacemaker needs to be white. Because his dad's a
Peacemaker has to be
a white supremacist.
Yeah.
And part of his story is coming out of that.
Yeah.
And not being a racist person and learning better,
Yeah.
That couldn't be a black person.
But the other thing is, like, most of the time that they change the races of any of these characters, they always change. It's never like Clark Kent is not a black guy. Like, the black Superman is a different dude.
Yeah.
Anytime you see, like, black Batman, it's a different guy. It's not Bruce Wayne that has become black.
Right.
The black Spider-Man is Miles Morales. He's a different guy.
Sure.
That's the other thing is like, oh, now we have to have like a... It's like, what, we can't have one? Yeah.
I wouldn't even go that far. I mean, I would be totally fine seeing a black Clark Kent. Like, doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
But I'm just saying, like, the argument that they always prop up is that, like, you're changing the thing.
Oh, the fake thing that somebody made up?
Yeah.
Is that what we're changing?
Yeah. Well, 9 times out of 10, they're not even changing it. They're just adding to the lexicon of, like, characters that you can be a fan of. Like, we're not taking anything from you.
Right. Well, and that's, I mean, even to say, like, if there were to be a black Clark Kent, does it erase the entire the 100+ year history of Superman as a character?
Exactly.
Does suddenly all of your comic books of the white Superman disintegrate into dust?
Right.
Is that what happens? Is there suddenly never going to be a white Superman again?
Right.
Gasp. You know, like
well,
what are you
all it would
afraid
do
of?
is just enhance the. It would just add more struggle to this character, who, by the way, doesn't have a lot of things to fucking struggle with. So, but we're not going to get into Black.
We've done that.
Black Super. We're just at this place where it's like any entity, any conglomerate, any company that decides to have a diverse cast, they are now going to be levied some kind of criticism of being too woke or trying to meet some kind of agenda.
Yeah,
it's just we're now at this place.
Appease the radical left.
Yeah, I just think that it's inevitable now. It's the kind of criticism that's always going to get levied at any show. If it has a female lead, if it has a diverse cast, it's always going to be, well,
there's a Muslim person in this.
Yeah. So I'm not one of these people who's like, ignore them, they'll go away. Because fuck them, you know? But I am also kind of getting to a point where I'm like, how many times are we going to read this article? How many times are you going to write that article before we just kind of acknowledge that, like, that's part of nerd culture? And you're like, those are people who are always going to have something to say.
Sure.
I'm not saying don't defend yourself. These actors and actresses and writers and directors, if they feel the need to say something, then say something. But at the same time, I'm just getting to a point where I'm like, is the show good? Yeah. Okay, well then I don't care what racist Billy Bob has to say about there being like a Latino lead in a show. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to acknowledge that guy's opinion anymore. It just doesn't... Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
You know? Is the show good?
Yeah.
Like, if it's a bad show and the actor's bad, then I'll be like, he's bad, but it has nothing to do with him being Hispanic. Like, he's just bad.
Right.
But if it's a good show and he just so happens to be Hispanic...
It's a good white man's job. That's what it did.
Yeah. The millions of jobs out there for white actors. We came in and took one of them, and they were like, how dare you? Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm just like, I'm not saying don't fight. We need to continue the good fight. I'm just saying at some point we just have to go, like, are we going to continue that fight?
Yeah.
Like, fuck that guy. The show's going to make a ton of money. These actors are going to use this to launch pad into bigger and better careers. It's going to be awesome for most of them.
Yeah. Now, I will say I do think that the media sets a lot of these minority actors up by saying, this is the first transgender whatever actress on a soap opera. Or so, you know, like, things that are important on face value, but also set up, and this is the thing, like, I don't mind that headline. I think it's fine. I think it's good that we acknowledge these things. But at the same time, I know for a fact, thank you, that they do that knowing full well they're going to get the vitriol from people and start a fight.
Right.
That's not, now I'm saying...
They're banking on it.
Absolutely. And it's so craven that they do that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that they need to cater to the hate-filled people who are going to come out anyway whenever someone says that. But I would much rather the headline not be that this is the first Mexican-American to do this thing.
Yeah.
And as opposed to that, say, new star, Emilio Estevez. I know.
Brand new star.
Yes.
Emilio Estevez.
A Mexican Emilio Estevez.
Benicio del Toro.
Yes.
This young up-and-coming actor.
Yes. Is awesome in this role. And then, you know, in the body copy saying he happens to be the very first of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You know, I don't think that we should hide these things. I think that they deserve to be praised and celebrated. But at the same time, I don't want to see media taking advantage of minorities in that way.
Yeah.
And making them targets and doing so knowing that they're just going to get profit off of it, because that feels disgusting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you fight that. I don't know. I mean, that's a solution, but at the same time, it also feels like you're shirking away from, you know, praising these things.
Right.
So I don't have the solution. I just think sometimes they are really set up to fail because they write an intentionally, air quote, woke headline to ruffle the feathers of the right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between like highlighting and praising these people and basically exploiting them, and the balance is in the talent of the writers and the people and the editors and the people who decide how these things are going to be perceived.
Sure.
And that's on them, and it's always been on them. It's always been on the media to balance these things out, and they never do. They always. I mean, one thing that I think everybody on every political spectrum can agree upon.
It's like the media's fucking.
Oh no!
How?
Why? How long does it usually take to do that?
I mean, we usually get like 2.5 hours out of it.
Oh no! It's getting worse.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
battery's probably degrading.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I mean, the Sony batteries are like notoriously shit.
Yeah.
So, well, okay. Well, the rest of this is gonna be.
Well, you're seeing a puppy dog right now. We're gonna put a puppy dog picture here.
Yep. We're gonna put old Bo up there. Rest in peace.
Oh, that's good.
Beautiful.
We need to make a mock-up of Bo being like the like the picture of when they're like biting a wire. And saying like technical difficulty.
Oh yeah, like the Simpsons.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that.
We need to get a mock-up of him with that like background.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Yeah, memorialize.
yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. It's a good idea. All right, fuck it. Let's get into the cheers. Let's get the fuck out of here. So, cheers of the week. Obi, you want to start us off, my friend?
I would love to.
All right, rock and roll.
My cheers of the week is going to Jordan Peele's Nope.
Okay.
So I did not see it in theaters, which now I'm kicking myself for.
Yeah.
But I did shell out the $20 it costs to rent it.
Okay.
And sitting here today, I think, and mind you, this is very tentative. I want to go back and clarify, but tentatively, I think the best Jordan Peele movie to come out so far.
Okay.
I saw a lot of reviews, and I kind of try to stay away from a lot of the press, a lot of the reviews, out of fear of losing the mystery of the movie, because I feel like this one, more than really any of his other movies, was so based on spoilers.
Yeah.
Like the mystery of what the movie's actually about.
Mm.
And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I wasn't spoiled. I mean, I would have even preferred not seeing any like art for it. Like I wish I could have gone in completely blind to this movie. I loved it. It is incredibly scary at times. It's very tense, very funny, extremely well acted. I love Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah, Keke Palmer, incredible. I'm on a high from the movie. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
it exceeded my expectation, which were high. And honestly, I've been waiting for the other shoe to fall for Jordan Peele. I've been waiting for him to fail. I've been waiting for the moment where I'm like,
why?
He's not the auteur that we're hoping him to be.
Why? What's the matter with you?
Because I've been hurt so many times in the past. I'm so afraid.
You just want him to have a bad movie. So
I don't. No. I don't misunderstand me right now.
I'm misunderstanding.
I don't want him to fail. I want him to continue to make incredible movies, and I think he's going to.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid when a writer-director gets too much praise too quickly. And I think that Get Out was such a head-turner, such an incredible introduction to what this guy can do outside of comedy, that I was afraid that it was a flash in the pan. I was afraid it was going to lead to diminishing returns, which is not true, at least to this point. And
yeah, not so far.
Yeah, I think I'm almost relieved at how good Nope is, because I want I want his string to continue going. Like
Yeah.
I want a win streak for Jordan Peele because I'm all in. I love it. I love what he's doing. I like this one way more than Us, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And right now it's kind of neck and neck with Get Out, but I need to rewatch Get Out because I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Supremely enjoyable movie.
Okay.
Watch with your friends. Have a good time.
All right. I love that. Love that. I mean, I was gonna go. I've been meaning to see it. I wanted to see it in theaters, and then just never.
Yeah,
just never
that's what
found
happened with
myself
me
in
too.
theater. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of came and went.
Yeah. All right. My cheers of the week is going to the start of the NFL season.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've already had a couple of college football games, and that kind of wets your whistle.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Oh, especially that FSU game. Oh my God.
I mean, that's why I wore the hat. Now you can't see it anymore, but you hopefully you've watched up until this point, and you would see the hat. That's why I wore it. Yeah. What a fucking tremendous!
Oh my
God. Nail biting, heart wrenching.
Yeah.
I mean, it was drama filled. Yeah. One of the best games I've ever seen. Yeah. Honestly, one of the best endings.
So dramatic.
Whoa, it was amazing.
Yeah. FSU LSU.
And
incredible.
that is just the start, ladies and gentlemen, because here we are, full swing, September, going into the fall season, and what do we got? We got the NFL. We got college football. We're about to go into the playoffs of baseball.
Yep.
I mean, you know, we've got these Pro-Am Euro League games of basketball. Mm-hmm. This is like the best time
Halloween
of the year.
Horror Nights.
We got Halloween Horror Nights, of course.
Yeah.
This is the best time of year for sports right now. It'll really, maybe like a month or so. It would be like the best time of year.
Sure. Sweet spot.
And just cheers to the idea of like finally I get to sit around and I you know, hopefully the next couple of Sundays, hopefully just for 17 weeks I have Sunday off and I get to sit on my ass and just
get a pub sub.
Yeah. I've already drafted my teams.
Nice. Okay.
And I feel pretty good about my drafts.
You got Joe Flacco?
I did not, but I'm thinking about grabbing him for the first like couple of, because he's gonna start for the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Before Zach Wilson comes back.
Yep.
So I think I might snap him up and throw him on the bench and see what he does. But it's just exciting, man. Just fun. Just have something to do on Sundays.
Yeah.
Have something to watch. I can't wait.
It's comforting, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's just like
it's a warm blanket.
It is. It is. So, cheers to that.
Indeed.
All right. Before we get out of here, we got to talk about these brewskis. So, let's get into it. The owls aren't real. Amazing.
The owls.
The owls, they're not real. From Tactical Brewing Company, a dry hop sour ale.
And Unseen Creatures.
Thank you. And Unseen Creatures, a collaboration with notes of papaya, apricot, and vanilla. So, Obesius, what did you think, my friend?
I thought it was good. We're not very high on sours generally. I feel like this is another good one for people who aren't the biggest sour fans.
Yep.
Most of those flavors come through. I mean, especially that vanilla. At first, honestly, I was concerned because I thought it may have lactose in it because of how like sweet and smooth it was.
Yeah.
But no problem so far.
Look it up.
Knock on wood. I haven't seen anything about lactose in it, so I think we're good. But that just goes to show like how kind of balanced it is away from that general sourness. Doesn't quite hit the highs of the
Deadwords one?
Yeah. What was that one called again?
Don't remember.
Oh.
But it was tremendous.
Yes. But still pretty good. I would recommend this to anyone who's not a big sour fan. I'm going to give it a 4.5. I think the only thing that's keeping it a little bit lower is because it almost asks for a bit more sweetness.
Yeah.
It would have done better with lactose in it to bump it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
To level it out and make it just that hint more sweet. But I do appreciate the fact it doesn't have lactose because as a weak stomach fella, I can drink this one.
You need a shirt that just says, as a weak-stomached fella. I'm going to give it a 4, and I'm going to say I think it's pretty solid. I would prefer it to be actually more sour.
Interesting.
Excuse me.
What a twist.
I know. I'm feeling like the papaya and the apricot, they're coming through, but they're a little too subtle.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I think that like the first sip I got, like the vanilla immediately hit my palate.
Yeah.
The rest of it kind of came through afterward. I feel like if they went a little bit harder on the fruit sours, a little more tart, a little more like you feel that on the back of your jaw kind of feeling with that vanilla in there, I think you might have yourself, maybe 4.5, maybe 5, maybe 5 sour.
Okay.
But as it stands, I think it's just a little too subtle on the fruit sours there. Vanilla's a little too front facing on it. But that's not to say that it's not delicious. It's really good. And if you like sours, like you said, so I think it's a good starter sour if you want to start getting into it. The subtlety of it, kind of work your way up to weirder ones, more tart ones, more like real sours.
Yeah. Funky.
So
Funky little joints.
Little funky joints. But I think, this is a good place to start. But I don't know if this was intended to be, an off the bench kind of starter, or if this is like supposed to be like their flagship guy.
I doubt it because it's a collab. So most collabs are pretty limited situations.
Yeah.
So,
but still,
yeah,
could be better.
Could
be worse.
It could be worse. It definitely could be worse. I think we both agree it could be worse. We've had worse sours.
We've definitely had worse sours.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Just to clarify, the Sangreal is the Deadwoods that we rated very highly.
What do we get? 5.5?
5.5, yeah.
That's right.
But these are available at Tactical Brewing if you're here in Central Florida, so I recommend going and checking them out if that sounds interesting to you.
All right, right on. We keep on rocking in the free world. Doot, doodle-oot, doot.
Doot, doot.
You think we got it?
I know we got it.
Well, then let's get the fuck out of here. This has been the One Beer In podcast. I'm still looking at the camera, even though it's off.
Okay, good practice.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer and have yourself a beautiful evening.